What is going on, guys? It is Aldo here at Zero to Mastery, and today I'm handing it over to Amber to talk about AWS EC2 billing and its different categories. This topic is extremely important when it comes down to managing your expenses and making sure that your cloud costs are as low as they can be. Amber is a certified cloud practitioner, developer, and technical trainer with numerous years of experience, so you guys are definitely in some good hands. Enough talking from me, let me hand it over to Amber to get you guys started.
In our section about compute earlier in the course, we briefly talked about the different pricing options for EC2 instances, but it's very likely you'll get some questions on the exam that test whether you know the differences between these, so I want to spend just a little bit more time here. Starting with on-demand pricing. This is what we've been using so far in the course, and probably what you're using as you're getting started with hands-on work. With this, you go spin up an instance, you pay for what you use, and there's no upfront commitment. This is the most expensive option versus some of the others we'll talk about, but good for general use and trying things out. Very flexible and easy to work with. The next option is spot instances. Here you bid on the spare capacity that AWS has. I once heard an analogy of an airline giving discounts on their spots or seats that were left on the plane, and it's kind of the same idea here. AWS has machines that are just sitting idle occasionally, so they might as well use them. This is the least expensive option of everything on the slide, offering up to 90% savings compared to on-demand pricing. But it's really important to know that your instances can be terminated at any time, so you should only use this for interruptible workloads, maybe some kind of data processing job that can be done over weeks or months, and is architected to handle those shutdowns. Next up, we have reserved instances. Here, you're making a commitment of 1 to 3 years, saying here's how much capacity we need, and you get a discount for that commitment. Kind of like leasing an apartment, you usually get a discount for a year-long commitment versus going month to month. So you're reserving these, and this can offer savings of 30 to 60% over on-demand, and it's good for steady, known workloads. But just to note, you are going to pay for capacity even if you don't use it. So up front, you have to say, we think we're going to need X capacity. And if you don't use all of that X capacity, you're still locked into paying for it. The final option is called the savings plan. This is kind of meant to bring the best of all options together. Here you make the same 1 to 3 year commitment as with the reserved instances, and you get discount pricing on those. But anything beyond that, you're going to pay on-demand pricing. So overall, it'll be less than on-demand pricing, and it's good for steady, known workloads, but you get more flexibility. This was introduced in 2019 in response to customers saying they needed something a little bit more flexible and easy to work with. So those are the basic differences between the plans that you should know for the exam.
Aldo here again. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in getting certified, make sure to check out Amber's full AWS Cloud Practitioner Bootcamp course, which will dive into everything you need to know and even give you a 65-question mock-up exam that closely mirrors the one you'll be taking on test day. More information on that in the description below. But that's it for today, and until next time.